Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well and I hope that my American viewers are all enjoying Thanksgiving. I'm here today with a different kind of video. I wanted to sit down and have a little chat with you guys about something that's often on my mind. So let's kick back, relax, maybe go grab yourself a cup of tea, and let's discuss the current state of Star Stable and the community. As someone who's been playing this game since October of 2013, I'm obviously very passionate about it. In a way, I have to be passionate, or else those 9 years worth of time and money would have almost been for nothing. Regardless of that, I do genuinely love this game, and a lot of the time it feels like I'm in the minority of players when I say that. I'm sure many of you have seen the trending rhetoric online that SSO is ruined and the classic "I miss the old Star Stable" comments. I've deleted TikTok now for the sake of my brain development, but when I was on that app, I would be hit daily with nostalgia bait videos of Star Stable. I'm sure you know the ones that I mean, where they show a compilation of clips from old Star Stable YouTubers circa 2013, 2015, and the comments are always flooded with the same ideals of, "Oh, I hate the new Star Stable," and "I wish we could go back to this." These videos often do really well because of this engagement as well, so then more people see them and spread the rhetoric. And don't get me wrong, this is a completely valid response to have to these videos. Nostalgia is very powerful and can elicit strong feelings from anyone, especially when it's surrounding a game that people have sank years of their life into. What I take issue with is when people don't stop to think, well, why do I hate the new Star Stable? And because of this, I'm gonna list the reasons for you. Number 1. Nostalgia. Ooh, so original. It's completely valid to dislike the direction that Star Stable is going. I too often find myself disappointed with the decisions that Star Stable are making, but we need to take a step back and question why we feel this way. Did we always feel like this? The answer is probably yes. Nostalgia, being as powerful as it is, often means that you view the past in a much more idyllic light than it actually was. When you think of Old Star Stable, you're also simultaneously thinking about your childhood, because they're so closely entwined. You think of your old friends, you think of how easy primary school or kindergarten was, and you especially think about how exciting Star Stable felt to you then. But I feel like the main reason why Star Stable felt so much more exciting is because you were a child. You most likely didn't have your own money, so star coins, and by extension the horses, felt so much more special. You had to wait for them and beg your poor parents for £20, or sit there in agonizing FOMO until birthday or Christmas. Nowadays, you just grab your debit card and buy them yourself. And not only is that less exciting because there's no waiting involved, there's also the added pressure of that being your own money, so of course you're going to be way more critical of what you're buying with it. And again, this is completely valid, but I feel that it's important to mention because Star Stable really hasn't changed that much in the grand scheme of things, it's just the way in which you play has. And of course there's the obvious issue of Star Stable's increased horse breed releases, but the actual act of buying horses really hasn't changed that much. It's just the frequency, and you don't have to buy every breed. I know that's annoying to hear, that's what everyone says, but it is true. Additionally, I think people like to believe that even when we were younger, we had zero complaints about the game, which is just not true. I remember being irrationally angry that there were no halters in this game when I was 12. We were still mad, just about different things. And it's completely valid to feel disheartened towards Star Stable, and I'm not here to tell you to feel a certain way. But I do find that a lot of the comments on those aforementioned TikToks come across as quite malicious. It seems as though people don't wish to truly analyze what it is they hate about Star Stable, they just jump on the hate bandwagon, so to speak. Which brings me on to my next point. Number 2. Picking sides. I don't take issue solely with people who vocally dislike the game. I also take issue with the toxic positivity spread by the SSO superfans, and kind of the ambassadors as well. It feels to me that within this community, nuance is dead. You cannot possibly enjoy the game but have your gripes about it. You have to pick a side. Will you battle the quote-unquote white knights of Star Stable? Or will you defend a multi-million-dollar company to the end, even when they imply that the discrimination of horse girls is on the same level as racism? The community is an absolute mess, which I find very frustrating. It feels like a constant battle, and no matter what side you're on, battles are draining. It doesn't feel welcoming at all, and can really ruin the whole experience of the game. It feels like absolutely no one in this game is capable of an actual discussion. I can't count how many times I've seen someone simply and politely state their opinion about the game update in global chat, and it always blows up into an argument. The Star Stable community feels like the epitome of the "oh, you said you like waffles? That must mean you hate pancakes" tweet. I feel like an insane person when I try to explain to a hardcore SSO enjoyer that even if I disagree with the decisions Star Stable have made, or I didn't enjoy an update, that I still have the right to play the game. But on the flip side, I also feel like an insane person when I try to explain to a Star Stable hater that yes, despite having many gripes with the game, I enjoy it, and most of all, I want to see it succeed. I mean, why wouldn't I? And why wouldn't you? If you're so mad that you wasted your money and time on this game, wouldn't you want to be a drive for change so that you could enjoy it again and no longer consider it a waste? Blindly hating just won't change anything, but neither will licking Star Stable's bum and refusing to call them out when they make mistakes, which, yeah, they make a fair few. Number 3. You like the game, but you don't like the management. My third issue with the community is the apparent inability to separate the game itself from the management. Yes, of course, they are extremely closely entwined, but to me it's so clear that the devs and the artists still have the same passion for the game that they did before, but are held back by the poor management. We can see this in the new story quests. Those, to me, felt so reminiscent of the original quests that we played as kids. That spark is still there. I'm sure most of you are aware of what I refer to as the great tragedy of 2018. When Star Stable sold parts of their company to shareholders, things did change. There's absolutely no denying that. But I don't think any passion was lost, per se. It's just being restricted by the higher-ups now. The devs don't decide the prices, the artists don't decide how many horses are being released, the management do. And in a way, I guess I can see their vision. Making clear moves to make more money is obviously quite horrible for the average player to see, but it does allow Star Stable to make a larger profit, which we can only hope is being sunk back into the game. Still, I agree they're very tone deaf a lot of the time. It's also clear that a lot of that money is being spent on making Star Stable Entertainment a brand, as opposed to being put directly into the game. Star Stable Entertainment are now releasing books, original music, a second game, and more. This can feel very frustrating. I remember being confused about all the music coming out and thinking, bruh, no one wants this. But actually, if you listen to it, it does slap. But also, as well, thinking about it, it increases the longevity of the game. The game probably could not stand the test of time alone, so creating other ways of marketing it and making money is actually a pretty sensible idea. So even if you see these business projects as predatory and money hungry, just think that someone's 8-year-old daughter listening to Lisa Peterson's EP on repeat probably gave you another update. Now, that's not to say that I don't have any more issues with the management, I certainly do. It feels frustrating to me that they market solely to young kids and seemingly ignore the older players. I think this is also just a strange business model. Yes, kids make a lot of money, or at least their mum's credit card does, but older players have the stronger voice. Online spaces for the Star Stable community are almost always overwhelmingly negative towards the game, and that's quite understandable considering older players sink their own hard-earned money into the game and then feel ignored. This is literally just bad PR for the game. I spend a lot of time on the Star Stable subreddit, and there's so much criticism there, which again is very valid, but imagine being a new/younger player going there to ask for help on a quest, and you just get bombarded with negativity and complaints. Are you likely to continue playing? I also get irritated by the seemingly constant horse releases, but I also think that if younger me could see all the variation we have now, she would lose her mind. So, I guess you win some and you lose some. Number 4. It's easy to give up. Star Stable are not the best at listening, which is a huge morale hit to the community. And this isn't to say that they have never listened, but the glaring times we've just been completely ignored are, ironically, very hard to ignore. The Jorvik Frisian springs to my mind instantly. When Star Stable specifically requested feedback on their work-in-progress Jorvik Frisians, we obviously lost our minds and got straight to work. But then to find out that they didn't even bother looking and just released the Frisians in the exact same state that they were in that work-in-progress image felt like a gigantic smack to the face. This is the main reason I'm worried for the player character update. However, whilst I'm hesitant, I don't want to give up hope completely. That would be the easier option, mind you, but my passion for the game means that I want to see it succeed. I'm praying that they have listened to and acted on the feedback from the beta, not just for my own sake, but for theirs. I'll admit that there were times when I did give up on this game, but when I did that, I stepped away from the game for almost a year. That time and distance allowed me to realize that the game still has the potential to be what we want it to be, and that it requires our honest and constructive criticism to achieve that. If you're currently feeling like the game is doomed, I hope that you can realize it will never be what you wish for unless you step up and use your voice. If you need time away, then you're completely valid. And additionally, if you do voice your opinion, I implore you to keep it civil. So many times I see people make a very valid critique on Star Stable's Instagram posts, but then they end it with the most bitter, butthurt insult ever, even going on to personally attack the devs. This makes your entire comment invalid. Star Stable just won't listen to you, and you also make the people giving actual constructive criticism look bad by association. On the flip side, I want the Star Stable worshippers to realize that you're not helping the game either. I'm really glad that you enjoy the game. That's what everyone deserves to feel. But constantly praising Star Stable despite their glaring mistakes means the management becomes complacent. They will catch on that you support and, more importantly, pay them regardless of what they do. This helps no one. This doesn't even help the company you're praising because it actively stops them from improving. I know that it hurts to hear people criticize your favorite game, but being stuck in these echo chambers of positivity, or if you're on the other side, an echo chamber of negativity, helps absolutely no one, and you need to get out. In conclusion, I feel like this constant battle of sides is tearing the community apart and therefore hurting people's enjoyment of the game. This tense atmosphere also makes people so much more susceptible to the nostalgia bait, because not only do they wish for the game to go back to how it was, they also want the community to return to how they viewed it as a younger child, much more peaceful and content. Personally, I think the only way we will see improvement in this game is by crawling out of our echo chambers and forming nuanced opinions. Then, Star Stable are more likely to listen to us, and being active in an online Star Stable space won't feel like so much of a battleground. Whenever I start to lose hope with the game, I challenge myself to question why I feel that way and what I can do about it. I also think of the positives that have come from this game, namely my friends, because no matter how much I may hate the direction Star Stable is going, or how ignored I may feel by the management some days, there is no denying that ultimately the game has had a positive impact on my life, and because of that, I want it to stick around for years to come, but that will only happen if I assist in the game's development by using my voice. So there's my 2 cents on how the current Star Stable atmosphere feels to me. Now I want to hear your thoughts. Comment below what you agreed and or disagreed with in this video. Healthy discussions like this allow Star Stable to improve and grow. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then please consider subscribing. It really helps me out a ton. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!